That relentless march of AI, are you feeling it accelerate? It's like
Yeah.
every few weeks there's another breakthrough that promises to reshape everything. And the question rattling around in my head, maybe yours too,
Yeah.
is how do we actually make sense of all this without our brains feeling completely overloaded?
This sentiment I hear frequently. Yeah. The pace of change is undeniably swift.
Right.
Today, we're diving into a specific area that's generating significant buzz and holds immense potential for the business world.
Hmm.
Generative AI agents.
Generative AI agents. Okay, let's unpack that. It still sounds a bit, I don't know, futuristic. What exactly are we talking about here?
Think of them as AI-powered software with the ability to not just process information, but also to proactively plan and perform tasks, or, to act as sophisticated assistants to us humans.
Okay.
The fundamental idea of AI helping us out isn't new, right? But the recent quantum leaps in generative AI, especially in understanding and generating natural human language, well, they're unlocking entirely new possibilities for what these agents can achieve.
So we're way beyond simple chatbots now, like the ones that just give canned answers.
Precisely, yeah. These new agents can orchestrate complex sequences of actions. And for you, our listener, who wants to get up to speed on this efficiently and thoroughly, our goal today is, well, to cut through the hype.
Okay.
We'll focus on the truly significant aspects of these Gen AI agents, what really matters.
That sounds exactly what I need. Seriously.
Yeah.
So what kind of insights are we drawing on for this deep dive? Where's our information coming from?
We've compiled some excellent resources. We're drawing on expert interviews conducted by McKinsey, leveraging their deep understanding of the technology landscape.
Good source.
And we're also analyzing their recent state of AI surveys, which give us a data-driven perspective on how these technologies are being adopted and the impact they're actually having.
Okay, so we get the expert opinions and the hard data. Nice.
Exactly. Both sides of the coin.
Fantastic. So what's our plan for this deep dive? What will we, understand by the time we wrap up?
Our aim is to understand the current status of Gen AI agents within businesses, how they're being implemented right now.
Okay.
We'll explore the potential value they offer, the key challenges that organizations face when trying to integrate them, and finally, we'll look ahead a bit, see what the future might hold in this rapidly evolving space.
All right, let's jump in. You mentioned these Gen AI agents can orchestrate complex workflows. Can you paint a more concrete picture of what that actually looks like in practice?
Certainly. Imagine software entities that can manage intricate sequences of actions. They can coordinate with other similar agents, apply logical reasoning to solve problems, and even assess the quality of their own outputs.
Okay, so they can check their own work, sort of.
In a way, yes. The crucial aspect here is their ability to automate entire processes and to function as powerful augmentations for human employees and customers.
So it's not necessarily about robots taking over all the jobs then, at least not yet.
Not in the immediate future, I think. Consider customer service as a prime example.
Right.
Thanks to advancements in how these agents can retain information from past interactions, their short and long-term memory capabilities, they can personalize conversations in a way that was previously really difficult to achieve.
Makes sense.
This not only empowers human customer service agents, but also paves the way for these AI agents to become genuine virtual team members across various departments, including areas like, say, HR and finance.
That sounds like a pretty significant transformation. Is there a sense of the potential economic scale of this shift? Like, how big are we talking?
Absolutely. McKinsey projects a potential annual value ranging from, get this, $2.6 trillion to $4.4 trillion.
Brilliant, with a T.
Trillion, yes,
Yeah.
across more than 60 different applications. That gives you a sense of the massive economic opportunity these technologies represent.
Wow.
Now, the actual realization of this value will hinge on how quickly and effectively businesses can fundamentally rethink and transform their core operations. It's not just plug and play.
Okay, wow. Trillions of dollars. So where's the real punch in that number? What are the one or two areas driving that massive valuation?
Well, a significant portion comes from the ability of Gen AI agents to automate a vast array of specialized workflows that were previously just too resource-intensive to even consider.
Right. The stuff that was too niche or complex.
Exactly. Think about it. Some estimates suggest that 60 to 70% of global work hours could theoretically be automated using existing technology. And Gen AI is a key to unlocking that potential at scale and across more nuanced tasks.
So bringing it back to something tangible like customer service, what kind of immediate impact are we observing there? What's happening now?
In the short term, the primary value in customer service stems from two key areas. significantly reducing the overall volume of inquiries and decreasing the average time it takes to resolve each one.
Okay, so efficiency gains.
Big time. McKinsey's analysis of 5,000 customer service agents using Gen AI revealed a 14% increase in the number of issues resolved per hour
14%, wow.
and a 9% decrease in average handling time.
Those are pretty substantial gains in efficiency. Seriously. What other effects are they seeing in customer service operations?
Another critical area is agent training. Traditionally, it can take 6 to 9 months for a new customer service agent to become fully proficient.
Yeah, that onboarding takes forever.
Right. But with access to Gen AI agents, which can provide a wealth of information on successful past interactions and offer helpful scripts and guidance, that training period could potentially be shortened to around 3 months.
3 months instead of 6 to 9? That's a massive saving in both time and resources.
Huge. And what about the longer-term possibilities in customer service? Where could this go?
Good question. Looking ahead, as these AI agents become more sophisticated, the expectation is that they'll not only enhance customer satisfaction, but also directly contribute to generating revenue.
How so?
By providing support to human agents and even operating autonomously on more routine tasks, they can address immediate customer needs and also identify opportunities for upselling or addressing broader customer needs.
Ah, okay. So spotting opportunities. Exactly. And as the use of Gen AI agents becomes more widespread, it could also lead to cost efficiencies, potentially allowing companies to offer more personalized, high-touch interactions with human agents as a premium service for complex issues.
That's an interesting potential evolution, almost like a tiered approach to customer service. Premium human help, AI for the rest.
Something like that, yeah. Are there any actual examples of this kind of impact happening right now? Any pilots or early results?
Yes, we're seeing encouraging results from early pilot programs. For instance, imagine a customer service agent speaking with a customer and receiving real-time suggestions from a Gen AI agent,
Mm-hmm.
pointing them to the most relevant knowledge articles or outlining the best next steps in the conversation. These AI agents can even provide guidance on things like maintaining a positive tone and demonstrating empathy.
Real-time coaching, basically.
Exactly. Another exciting possibility that was previously cost prohibitive is now becoming feasible. Dedicating an AI agent to support a customer throughout their entire sales journey.
Wow, like a personal concierge.
Kind of. We're also seeing personalized coaching for customer service representatives, focusing on both technical skills and crucial soft skills.
Right.
With estimated productivity increases in customer care functions ranging from 30 to 45%.
30 to 45%. That's huge.
It is. And finally, direct customer assistance from digital sales assistants that can quickly retrieve detailed product information, compare specifications and costs, and even remember the context of previous interactions.
So it's a significant leap beyond a basic chatbot that just answers frequently asked questions. Much smarter.
Exactly. It's about proactive support and tailored guidance at every stage.
Now, earlier you mentioned that some people might be naturally skeptical, right? Seeing this as just another overhyped technology trend.
Yeah, they've seen it all before crowd.
What makes this different? Why should we believe this time is, well, different?
That's a valid point given the history of, let's say, technological promises. However, the capabilities we're witnessing with Gen AI agents are truly unprecedented. Unlike previous technologies, Gen AI has the potential to manage millions of interactions across diverse channels while generating much higher quality personalized responses.
Right.
And given that many companies currently report less than expected satisfaction with their customer service performance, less than 10% according to one survey of North American executives, there's a significant opportunity for Gen AI agents to deliver tangible improvements.
So the need is definitely there.
Absolutely. Personalized service is a key driver of better customer experiences, and Gen AI agents are uniquely positioned to provide that at scale.
That makes sense. Theory is one thing, but are there actual companies already seeing measurable results on the ground? Can we name names?
Absolutely. Let's look at Lenovo as a concrete example. They've been actively implementing Gen AI agents in two key areas: software engineering and customer support.
Okay, Lenovo. What are they seeing?
In software engineering, they've observed initial improvements of around 10% in both the speed and quality of code production.
10%, that's solid.
And that's even increasing as their teams become more familiar with the technology. They expect it to get to maybe 15%.
So there's a learning curve, but the benefit grows. Makes sense. What about their experiences in customer support?
In customer support, Lenovo is utilizing LLM-enhanced bots to address customer issues across all their interaction channels, online, chat, voice, email, all of them.
Okay.
They anticipate that a substantial portion, perhaps 70 to 80% of all customer interactions could eventually be handled without any direct human intervention.
70 to 80% without a human. Wow.
Yeah, and they're already reporting double-digit percentage gains in the productivity of their customer call handling times.
Impressive. It sounds like the benefits are extending beyond just customer interactions as well.
They are indeed. Their marketing teams are reporting remarkable time savings, like a 90% reduction in the time required to create a comprehensive pitch book.
90%. That's crazy.
And they're also realizing cost reductions in their agency fees as a result.
So how are they preparing their workforce for this, evolving landscape with Gen AI agents? It must be a big shift for employees.
Lenovo is taking a very proactive stance. They're developing learning programs for their employees, partners, and even key customers to ensure everyone understands the technology and its potential applications.
Good move.
They're specifically focusing on demystifying AI to build trust among their employees, which they recognize is crucial for successful adoption.
Trust is key, yeah.
Their view is that Gen AI can actually level the playing field, reducing their reliance on needing an exceptionally large pool of specialized talent.
Interesting take. So what kind of specific training and upskilling initiatives are they putting in place? What does that look like?
For managers, the training focuses on enhancing their technical understanding of AI and adapting their key performance indicators, KPIs, to accurately reflect the changing nature of their team's output.
Makes sense. The metrics have to change too.
Right. At the executive level, the goal is to provide a solid understanding of the technology so that leaders can make well-informed investment decisions.
The for strategy.
And interestingly, they've observed that their software engineers, as they work more closely with Gen AI agents, are moving beyond simply requesting basic code snippets to thinking more strategically about overall software development workflows, even using AI agents for initial brainstorming and ideation.
So it's changing how they think, not just what they type.
Exactly. And for their sales teams, Gen AI is proving to be a valuable tool for experiential learning, allowing them to practice customer interactions and receive constructive feedback in a safe, controlled environment.
Like a flight simulator for sales calls.
Pretty much. And it sounds like Lenovo is viewing these agents as more than just simple tools then.
Exactly. Their future vision is that Gen AI agents will evolve from basic assistants to more like digital deputies that human agents can delegate tasks to autonomously.
Digital deputies, I like that.
They're anticipating significant productivity gains and an improved overall employee experience by automating some of the more repetitive and, frankly, less engaging tasks.
Yeah, nobody likes the drudgery.
Right. They're even exploring how to leverage Gen AI to capture valuable insights from discussions and interactions to feed directly back into their product development pipeline and automatically generate new internal knowledge resources.
Wow, closing the loop automatically. This Lenovo example really makes the potential feel much more real, much more tangible.
Gus.
You mentioned earlier that the development of Gen AI has been rapid. Can you give us a sense of just how quickly this landscape has been changing? Like, what was it like a year or two ago versus now?
Oh, the progress in Gen AI
Huh.
has been nothing short of extraordinary. If we look back just a year or two, early large language models had significant limitations, right? Things like hallucinations,
Right, making stuff up.
making stuff up, exactly,
Hmm.
and relatively high computational costs. This meant they were primarily suited for fairly basic tasks, like providing general information or generating simple text. More complex, multi-step workflows simply weren't practically feasible. I mean, think about it. Even if an early LLM was, say, 80% accurate at each step of a 10-step process, the overall accuracy of the complete workflow would plummet to only around 11%.
Yeah, that math doesn't work for complex tasks. That really highlights the need for substantial advancements. So, what key improvements have we seen that have changed the game?
We've witnessed a surge of innovations across the board. The underlying large language models themselves have become significantly more accurate and capable, just leaps and bounds better.
Okay.
We've seen breakthroughs in creating more sophisticated short-term and long-term memory structures for these agents.
Ah, so they remember context better.
Much better. Their ability to apply logical reasoning and critically evaluate their own answers has also improved dramatically. And perhaps most importantly, we now have more robust frameworks and architectures for applying these agents and models to tackle much more complex and nuanced workflows.
Frameworks.
Yeah.
Like tools to build these things.
Exactly. And a crucial development is that LLMs can now often evaluate and even self-correct their own outputs, leading to much higher overall accuracy, especially when combined with human oversight for the most challenging situations, often referred to as human in the loop.
So the AI is getting better at identifying and fixing its own errors. That's pretty cool.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And another fundamental shift is occurring in how these applications are being developed and deployed. Initially, many Gen AI applications beyond simple chat interfaces were custom built, right? Involving the integration of various different components, kind of piecemeal,
Yeah, lots of duct tape and code.
pretty much. Now we're seeing a clear trend towards greater standardization and the industrialization of these frameworks, moving closer to readily available packaged software solutions.
Okay, so more off-the-shelf options are coming.
That's the direction. This will dramatically accelerate the speed of implementation, improve overall cost efficiency, and make a much wider range of real-world applications, including those previously considered niche or too complex, economically viable.
It sounds like the underlying technology is maturing at an incredible rate. But what are the practical obstacles that organizations are currently encountering when trying to implement these Gen AI agents, particularly in, say, customer-facing roles? What are the roadblocks?
Yeah, it's not all smooth sailing. One of the most significant challenges is building trust in these agents across the entire organization, from employees right through to customers.
Trust, again, seems central.
It really is. For example, one bank we spoke with recognized that minimizing incorrect or, nonsensical answers to those hallucinations was paramount to gaining that trust.
Makes sense. You can't have your bank's bot giving bad advice.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So they implemented an internal verification system that actively checks for these hallucinations before any response is shared with the customer. Only when the system has a high degree of confidence in the accuracy of the answer is it provided.
Okay. A quality check.
Right. If there's uncertainty, the chatbot is programmed to admit it can't answer definitively
Hmm.
and offer to rephrase the question or connect the customer with a live human agent.
Good escape hatch.
And this underscores the enduring value that customers across all demographics still place on having the option to interact with a real person when needed.
That makes perfect sense. Trust is absolutely essential, especially in customer interactions. What other significant hurdles are organizations facing?
Change management is another substantial obstacle. I mean, while we're seeing promising results in controlled pilot programs and experimental deployments,
Oh, lab looks good.
right, the lab looks good. But scaling these successes across a large and complex organization is an entirely different undertaking. It's not simply a matter of deploying new software tools. Companies need to fundamentally rethink and re-engineer how entire business functions operate to truly harness the full potential of Gen AI agents.
Re-engineering entire functions.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really significant undertaking. Heavy lift.
It is. Take the issue of data, for instance.
Yeah.
Gen AI technologies are heavily reliant on access to high-quality, well-organized data. That's the fuel.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. Yet, our surveys indicate that nearly 20% of organizations identify data quality as their biggest impediment to realizing tangible value from their Gen AI initiatives.
20%, that's a lot.
It is. Imagine a customer service chatbot relying on outdated information, like a COVID-19 policy that's no longer in effect. The information might technically be present in the system, but it's completely irrelevant and potentially harmful.
Oof, yeah. Bad luck.
Companies need to make significant investments in cleaning, organizing, and ensuring the timeliness and accuracy of their data. It's foundational work.
Data quality always seems to be a recurring challenge with any major technology implementation, doesn't it?
Always. What other factors are holding companies back?
Well, establishing robust AI trust and governance frameworks is absolutely essential. This involves defining the core principles, developing clear policies, implementing effective processes, and deploying the necessary technology to not only comply with the evolving regulatory landscapes like the EU AI Act,
Right, the regulations are coming.
but also to uphold fundamental ethical commitments around fairness and the prevention of bias.
Okay, the ethical piece.
Hugely important. This requires a significant amount of new learning and expertise, close collaboration with legal and risk management teams, and the implementation of new technological solutions for managing and monitoring these AI systems at scale.
So it's not just about the AI technology itself, but the entire operational and ethical framework that surrounds it. It's a whole ecosystem.
Precisely. Then there's the crucial element of learning and upskilling the workforce at every level of the organization. Managers will need to adapt their performance metrics and management
We
approaches.
talked about that with Lenovo.
Exactly. Frontline employees will need to learn new ways of interacting with both customers and these AI-powered assistants. The underlying AI technology itself also needs to continue to evolve, becoming more flexible and developing strong lifecycle management capabilities, what we're starting to call Gen AI ops.
Gen AI ops, new term for me.
Yeah, managing the life cycle of these AI systems. Furthermore, the overall operating model of the organization needs to become more agile, supporting smaller, iterative teams focused on rapidly developing and deploying new AI-driven service capabilities.
Move fast, learn fast.
Right. Finally, successful adoption requires sustained effort and the implementation of appropriate incentives to encourage employees to trust these new tools and recognize the benefits they offer, particularly among more experienced employees who might initially be resistant to these changes.
Yeah, overcoming inertia and skepticism. It sounds like a truly comprehensive transformation effort is often required. It's not a small tweak.
Definitely not. Shifting our focus slightly, what kind of wider impact do you anticipate these Gen AI agents having on businesses beyond just immediate efficiency gains? Where else could this lead?
Well, we believe the immediate impact will certainly be in augmenting human capabilities and enabling broader automation of routine tasks. That's the low-hanging fruit, maybe. However, looking further into the future, Gen AI agents have the potential to fundamentally reshape various corporate services and workflows. They can automate many of the repetitive, non-value-adding tasks.
The boring stuff.
The boring stuff, yeah. Freeing up human employees to concentrate on more strategic, creative, and complex work, ultimately leading to enhanced experiences for both employees and customers.
That sounds like it could also positively impact employee satisfaction and retention rates, right? If the work is better.
Exactly. As employees are equipped with better tools and engage in more fulfilling work, we anticipate a potential decrease in employee attrition.
Makes sense.
We might also see a trend towards greater specialization in service-oriented roles. Some companies or specific functions might lead the way in fully automating certain processes, while others might choose to differentiate themselves by offering more highly personalized, high-touch human interactions for specific customer segments or needs.
So, bifurcation maybe, hyper-automation versus hyper-personalization.
Could be. We're already seeing early signs of this, with examples like a German company implementing an AI-powered learning and coaching engine and observing a notable improvement in employee experience. As employees feel they're receiving more relevant feedback, are being more valued, and have increased opportunities for career growth and more varied responsibilities.
So it's not solely about cutting costs, but also potentially about fostering a better and more engaging work environment. That's a positive spin.
It can be, if managed well.
You mentioned earlier the rapid pace of technological development.
Yeah.
How is that impacting the projected timelines for widespread automation? Are things speeding up?
Significantly.
Right.
Our earlier projections, maybe from a few years ago, estimated that around 50% of today's work activities could potentially be automated by approximately 2055.
Okay, 2055, still a ways off.
Well, the remarkable advancements we've seen in Gen AI have significantly accelerated that timeline by roughly a decade.
A decade, so closer to 2045 now.
Around that, yeah. And given the continued rapid pace of innovation in this field, we can reasonably expect that adoption timeline to shrink even further.
Wow.
This is a critical development that every business leader needs to be acutely aware of and proactively preparing for. The future is coming faster than we thought.
That's a significant acceleration of the anticipated impact. It really underscores the urgency for organizations to understand and strategically adapt to these rapidly evolving technologies. Now, let's shift our focus to the organizational changes that are necessary to truly capture the value offered by Gen AI. What are some of the key insights from the State of AI survey regarding this? How are companies actually changing?
Yeah, the survey data clearly indicates that organizations are indeed beginning to establish the necessary structures and processes to realize meaningful value from their Gen AI initiatives. It's starting to happen.
Okay.
We're seeing companies starting to redesign their existing workflows, elevate their governance practices around AI, and actively work to mitigate the increasing array of risks associated with the deployment of Gen AI technologies.
So the groundwork is being laid.
Exactly. Interestingly, larger companies, those with annual revenues exceeding $500 million, are demonstrating a much faster pace of organizational adaptation compared to their smaller counterparts.
That makes sense. Larger organizations likely have more dedicated resources to invest in these changes, more capacity to move.
Probably.
Yeah.
What about the overall level of adoption of AI, both traditional analytical AI and generative AI? Are more companies using it now?
Yes, the adoption of AI continues its strong upward trajectory. Over three-quarters of organizations, 78%, actually now report actively using AI in at least one business function.
Great quarters, wow.
And the adoption rate of generative AI specifically is increasing very rapidly across industries. It's catching on fast.
Who is typically taking the lead in overseeing AI governance within these organizations? Is it IT, legal, someone else?
Our analysis reveals a strong positive correlation between a CEO's direct involvement in overseeing AI governance, the establishment of policies, processes, technology for responsible development and deployment, and a greater reported positive impact on the company's bottom line from Gen AI use.
So CEO involvement matters a lot.
It really seems to, yes. This is particularly pronounced in larger companies, where CEO engagement appears to be a key driver of success. Currently, around 28% of organizations that are actively using AI report that their CEO holds direct responsibility for AI governance.
28%. Still room to grow there at the top level.
Definitely. And you mentioned that fundamentally redesigning workflows is a crucial step in realizing a tangible impact. That keeps coming up.
Absolutely. The redesign of existing workflows has emerged as the single most significant factor influencing the EBIT impact from Gen AI use across organizations of all sizes. It's where the rubber meets the road. Approximately 21% of companies that are currently using Gen AI report that they have already undertaken fundamental redesigns of at least some of their core business workflows to better leverage the capabilities of the technology.
Only about a fifth so far, though, so still early days for most on the redesign front.
Still early days, yes.
Yeah.
How are companies structuring their efforts around deploying AI? Are they tending toward centralizing or decentralizing these functions within the organization? Is it top-down or bottom-up?
It's a mix, really. We're observing a trend towards selectively centralizing certain critical elements while adopting more distributed approaches for others.
Okay, like what?
Functions like risk and compliance, as well as data governance, are frequently handled through fully or partially centralized models, often in the form of a center of excellence.
Right, keep the guardrail central.
Exactly. Conversely, for aspects like AI-related technical talent and the actual adoption of AI solutions within specific business units, a hybrid or partially centralized approach is more common, with a mix of centrally managed resources and resources embedded within individual teams.
So expertise both central and out in the units.
Right. Interestingly, smaller organizations show a greater tendency towards fully centralizing these functions, maybe out of necessity.
Makes sense. What about the actual outputs generated by Gen AI? Are companies implementing review processes or oversight mechanisms? Are they checking the AI's homework?
There's a wide spectrum of approaches being taken. Roughly 27% of organizations using Gen AI report that they are currently reviewing all content generated before it is used in any official capacity.
Okay, a quarter are checking everything.
But a similar proportion reports reviewing only 20% or less of the generated content, so big variation there.
Yeah, quite a range. Any pattern to who checks more?
We're seeing that organizations operating in sectors like business, legal, and professional services tend to have more stringent review processes in place. Higher stakes, perhaps.
Understandable. And what about the potential risks associated with Gen AI, like inaccuracies or cybersecurity vulnerabilities?
Yeah.
Are companies actively working to mitigate these risks?
Yes, we're seeing a growing focus on actively mitigating Gen AI-related risks, particularly those concerning the accuracy of the generated content, potential cybersecurity threats, and the infringement of intellectual property rights.
IP is a big one.
Huge. And these are also the risks most frequently reported as having led to negative consequences for organizations when things go wrong.
Okay.
Larger companies tend to report implementing measures to mitigate a broader range of risks overall, with cybersecurity and data privacy being key areas of focus for them.
It really sounds like a strategic top-down commitment is crucial for achieving success with Gen AI initiative. You need leadership buy-in.
That's precisely the key takeaway. Adopting a think big mentality and pursuing comprehensive end-to-end transformative changes, rather than just incremental implementations, appears to be what distinguishes the organizations that are starting to realize a genuine competitive advantage from their Gen AI investments.
Go big or go home, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. This requires strong alignment and commitment at the highest levels of the organization, the C-suite. However, it's important to note that the majority of companies have not yet seen a significant organization-wide impact on their bottom line,
Right.
and are not yet fully implementing the established best practices for widespread adoption and scaling. still a gap between potential and reality for many.
What kind of best practices are you referring to in this context? What should companies be doing?
We've identified 12 key adoption and scaling practices, and our analysis shows a clear positive correlation between the adoption of each of these practices and a positive impact on EBIT.
Okay, so there's a playbook.
There is. Consistently tracking well-defined key performance indicators, KPIs, for Gen AI solutions has the most significant impact overall.
Measure what matters.
Exactly. And for larger organizations, having a well-articulated strategic roadmap is also absolutely crucial. However, less than one-third of survey respondents report consistently adhering to most of these best practices.
Less than a third.
Yeah. Indicating a substantial opportunity for improvement across the board, larger organizations are generally more likely to have dedicated cross-functional teams, robust internal communication strategies, active engagement from senior leadership, comprehensive training programs, and clearly defined strategic roadmaps in place. They're further along the maturity curve.
So it's not just about acquiring the technology, but about how you strategically manage and fully integrate it into the organization, the whole package.
Absolutely. What about the specific skills that organizations are currently seeking? Are those skill demands shifting with the increasing adoption of Gen AI? What kind of people do they need?
Definitely shifting.
Yeah.
While the overall level of hiring for AI-related roles remains relatively steady, we are observing some notable shifts in demand for specific skill sets.
Like what?
There's been a slight decrease in hiring for specialists in areas like data visualization and user interface design,
Interesting.
coupled with an increasing demand for roles focused on managing the risks associated with AI, such as AI compliance and ethics specialists.
Ah, the governance and ethics roles again. Growing need there.
Exactly. Larger companies tend to be hiring for a broader range of specialized AI talent, including data scientists, machine learning engineers, and data engineers. While the overall difficulty in recruiting for AI roles has decreased somewhat recently, AI data scientists continue to be in particularly high demand.
Still hard to find good data scientists.
Yep. We're also seeing a growing trend of organizations investing in reskilling their existing employees to work effectively with AI technologies. And this trend is expected to accelerate even further over the next 3 years.
Reskilling is key. And how are organizations typically managing the time that is being freed up by the implementation of Gen AI? Are people just doing less work or different work?
It varies. Often the time saved is being redirected towards new, higher-value activities or allowing employees to dedicate more time to their existing core responsibilities. More focused time, maybe.
Okay.
However, larger organizations are more likely to report actual headcount reductions as a direct result of these efficiency gains.
Ah, the job loss question.
Right. And our analysis indicates a significant correlation between these headcount reductions and a positive impact on the bottom line. It's a tough reality.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, a plurality of respondents can anticipate little overall net effect on their workforce size in the next 3 years, so not predicting mass layoffs overall.
Okay, so maybe more churn and role changes than just net reduction for many.
Potentially. Although the financial services sector is an exception, with a higher proportion of companies expecting potential reductions. Expectations also vary across different business functions, with decreases anticipated in areas like service operations and supply chain management, and potential increases in IT and product development.
So shifting roles across the company, it's a complex and evolving picture with different industries and business functions experiencing varying degrees of impact. What's the overarching takeaway regarding the current state of AI adoption and value creation? Where do we stand?
Overall, AI adoption continues its strong growth, now reaching that 78% mark in at least one function, with IT and marketing sales being the most common areas. Organizations are also leveraging AI across an increasing number of different business functions, spreading out. Gen AI adoption has also seen a significant surge, reaching 71%, with marketing sales, product and service development, service operations, and software engineering leading the way.
71% using Gen AI in some way. That's fast adoption.
Very fast.
Yeah.
While the reported value creation within individual business units using Gen AI is increasing both in terms of revenue growth and cost reductions, the impact on enterprise-wide EBIT is not yet substantial for the majority of organizations.
So pockets of value, but not company-wide transformation for most yet.
Exactly. This suggests that while experimentation and initial deployments of Gen AI are widespread, realizing significant organization-wide financial benefits is still in the relatively early stages for most companies.
Still climbing the curve.
That provides a really comprehensive overview of the current landscape. Super helpful. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the AI agents themselves. You've touched on their capabilities, but what precisely constitutes an AI agent? What are the defining characteristics? Let's get specific.
Okay. At its core, an AI agent is a software component that is designed to operate autonomously on behalf of a user or another system to accomplish specific tasks.
Autonomously, keyword.
Keyword. These individual agents can then be organized into more complex agent systems that are capable of managing intricate workflows, coordinating actions among multiple agents, applying logical reasoning to solve problems, and even evaluating the quality of their own outputs and results.
So it's often more than just a single isolated piece of software. It's like a team of agents.
Frequently, yes. Think of an agent system as a carefully orchestrated collection of these individual AI agents working collaboratively to achieve a larger, more complex objective.
Okay.
You've likely already encountered rudimentary forms of AI agents in your daily life, right? Like customer service chatbots that answer basic questions, or even a generative AI model that can compose poetry based on a prompt. Those are simple agents.
Right, the basic stuff.
But the rapid advancements we've witnessed since the initial emergence of ChatGPT have made these agent systems significantly more sophisticated and capable of intricate planning, seamless collaboration, efficient task completion, and even learning and improving from their experiences. They're getting smarter, fast.
So the key aspect of being an agent is this ability to act independently and coordinate with other systems or agents. That's the difference.
Precisely. As Laurie Hemelainen aptly put it, this rapid development has led to a powerful, joint human plus machine outcome that is generating both high-quality results and significant gains in productivity.
Okay.
Recent breakthroughs in creating more advanced memory structures for these agents are also enabling much greater levels of personalization in their interactions.
Better memory, better personalization. Makes sense.
And the fundamental shift we're currently observing is the evolution of AI agents from thought to action.
From thought to action, okay.
Major technology players like Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, they've been making substantial investments in developing specialized software libraries and frameworks to support this agentic functionality.
Agentic meaning able to act.
Able to act, yes.
Yeah.
Applications such as Microsoft Copilot, Amazon Q, and Google's Project Astra are prime examples of this transition from primarily knowledge-based tools to those with more direct action-taking capabilities.
Right. Copilot actually does stuff in my apps.
Exactly. Some industry observers even suggest that AI agents could become as commonplace and integral to our digital lives as mobile applications are today.
That's a rather bold prediction. Agents as common as apps.
Ah.
Wow. Are there different categories or distinct types of AI agents that are currently emerging? Can we classify them somehow?
Yes, we're starting to see several distinct categories of AI agents being developed and deployed. It helps to break them down.
Okay.
One important category is individual augmentation agents, often referred to as co-pilot agents.
Like Microsoft Copilot.
Exactly. These are specifically designed to assist individual users with their daily tasks, like helping with content creation, generating computer code, or efficiently retrieving relevant knowledge. Familiar examples include tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot or the core functionalities of ChatGPT.
Okay, the personal assistants.
Right. The actual impact and effectiveness of these agents often depend on the individual user's motivation and how actively they integrate the tool into their workflow. You have to use it.
Right. What's another type?
Another key type is workflow automation platforms. These platforms focus on automating specific, often multi-step tasks or smaller, well-defined business workflows, acting as AI-powered orchestrators for existing processes.
So automating a whole sequence of steps.
Exactly. Examples in this space include Microsoft's Copilot Studio and Salesforce's Agentforce, which is currently under development. The success of these platforms often hinges on careful implementation, effective change management within the organization, and ongoing monitoring and management of the deployed agents.
Okay, so copilots and workflow automators. What other significant types of AI agents are we seeing?
We're also witnessing the rise of Gen AI native agents for domain solutions.
Domain solutions, meaning industry specific.
Precisely. These are AI agents that are purpose-built for specific business areas or industry verticals, such as AI-powered customer service systems that can handle end-to-end interactions, or AI-enabled software development pipelines that can automate significant portions of the coding process.
Okay.
These agents are designed to fundamentally reimagine how work is done within a specific domain with AI at the very core of the process. rather than simply layering AI onto existing human roles or established workflows. It's a deeper integration.
Got it. Any other categories?
Then we have the more ambitious concept of AI-native enterprises and operating models, where AI agents are deeply integrated throughout the entire organizational structure, leading to a comprehensive end-to-end redesign with an AI-first approach.
Wow, like rebuilding the company around AI.
Kind of like the large-scale digital transformations we've seen in the past, but with AI at the center. Finally, there's the category of AI virtual workers.
Virtual workers, like digital employees.
Pretty much. These agents are designed to function almost as digital employees or team members, potentially operating within a company's existing organizational structure to capture value more quickly and seamlessly, making them a potentially disruptive force.
That sounds game-changing.
It could be. It's important to recognize, though, that these categories are not mutually exclusive, and most organizations will likely adopt a strategic mix of these different types of AI agents.
Okay, that provides a really helpful framework for understanding the different roles and applications of these agents. Really useful breakdown. Now, how do these AI agents typically function in practice? Can you walk us through a general operational process? What happens under the hood?
Sure. The general process typically involves 4 key stages. First, a user provides a specific task or instruction to the agent system, usually expressed in natural human language. Book me a flight, for example.
Okay, natural language input.
Right. The AI agent then works autonomously to formulate a plan, outlining the necessary steps to achieve the desired outcome. Second, the agent system proceeds to execute this plan, which often involves breaking down the overall task into smaller, more manageable subtasks.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. A central manager agent might then delegate these subtasks to other, more specialized sub-agents. These sub-agents then draw upon their existing knowledge, domain expertise, and access to both internal and external data sources to carry out their assigned responsibilities.
So specialized agents handle specific parts.
Correct. Third, the agent system may iteratively refine its output by seeking additional clarification or feedback from the user to ensure accuracy, relevance, and alignment with the initial request. Did you mean this flight? Kind of thing.
Okay, checking back with the user.
Right. This iterative process can involve multiple rounds of refinement until the final output meets the user's expectations. Finally, the agent executes any necessary actions to fully complete the original task, which might involve interacting with other software systems, sending notifications, or updating records, actually booking the flight.
Okay, so it's a dynamic and iterative process. Plan, execute, refine, act. That makes sense. You also mentioned that these agents can interact with both human-designed and computer-designed tools. What does that mean?
Yes, that's a critical aspect of their versatility. AI agents have the ability to interact with a wide range of tools, including those designed for direct human interaction like web browsers and email clients.
Stuff we use every day.
Right, and also those designed for computer-to-computer communication, such as application programming interfaces, APIs.
Talking directly to other software.
Exactly. This flexibility allows them to seamlessly operate across diverse technology architectures, both within and outside of organizational boundaries, without requiring significant overhauls or replacements of existing systems. They can kind of bridge gaps.
That's powerful. What about safeguards and control mechanisms? How can organizations ensure that these agents operate effectively and, responsibly? Avoid chaos.
Yeah, crucial question. Any responsible deployment of AI agents necessitates the implementation of a comprehensive set of controls and safeguards.
Like what?
This includes incorporating constructive feedback loops, allowing agents to review and improve their own work. They can also be programmed with the ability to learn from their mistakes, adapt their strategies, or escalate complex issues to a human manager when necessary.
So built-in learning and escalation.
Right. We're also seeing the development of more sophisticated agent architectures that involve critic agents, whose primary function is to review and evaluate the plans and outputs of creator agents, leading to higher quality and more reliable results.
An AI editor, basically.
Kind of. Additionally, specialized agents can be designed to automatically test and validate outputs against predefined ethical guidelines and to identify and mitigate potential biases, building in the checks and balances.
That's reassuring to hear that there's a focus on building in safety and ethical considerations into these systems. It's not just about raw capability.
It has to be. How do AI agents relate to the large language models, the LLMs, that we've been discussing throughout this deep dive, are they essentially the same thing or different?
Good clarification. No, they are related but distinct concepts. AI agents utilize various AI models to accomplish their tasks.
Okay, so agents use models as tools.
Exactly. When they need to communicate with humans in a natural and intuitive way, they frequently leverage the natural language processing capabilities of large language models, LLMs.
Makes sense.
Think of it this way. Consider a self-driving car as an analogy.
Okay.
The agent responsible for understanding your spoken destination request might use an LLM to interpret your natural language. Take me to the airport. However, the critical agent that controls the car's braking system would rely on highly specialized, deterministic models designed for real-time, safety-critical decisions, not an LLM. You don't want your brakes hallucinating.
Definitely not. That analogy really clarifies the distinction between the two. Very helpful. So, with these advanced capabilities, what kind of impact are AI agents expected to have on overall business growth and innovation?
Yeah.
Where does this lead economically?
Well, as we discussed earlier, McKinsey projects that substantial long-term potential of up to $4.4 trillion in annual value stemming from enterprise applications of generative AI.
To trillions again.
Right. AI agents are considered a critical enabler in unlocking this immense value more rapidly, more effectively, and at a lower cost than traditional automation technologies. They're the key to getting that value.
Okay.
However, the potential value extends beyond simply automating existing routine tasks. AI agents can empower organizations to fundamentally reimagine their core business processes and modernize their underlying IT infrastructure. From adopting more user-friendly programming languages and contemporary development frameworks to restructuring complex systems for enhanced modularity and facilitating seamless migration to cloud-based environments.
So helping fix the old tech debt, too.
Potentially, yes. Multiple specialized AI agents can collaborate on these intricate tasks with real-time oversight and feedback from human experts. The real transformative potential lies in the ability to orchestrate these diverse agents to complete not just isolated tasks, but entire end-to-end workflows, like streamlining complex software development processes.
End-to-end automation.
That's the goal. We're already seeing early evidence of this in customer service, with the documented improvements in issue resolution rates and reductions in average handling times directly attributed to the implementation of Gen AI agents.
Right, the metrics we saw earlier, it sounds like these agents can truly simplify and accelerate complex automation initiatives. How exactly do they achieve this level of efficiency? What's the magic?
Well, it's not magic, but Gen AI-powered agents streamline complex automation in three fundamental ways.
Okay, 3 ways.
First, they can more effectively handle situations that are inherently less predictable and involve a high degree of variability. Unlike rigid, rule-based automation systems, their foundation in massive, unstructured datasets allows them to dynamically adapt in real time to a much wider range of real-world scenarios and unexpected inputs. They're more flexible.
Okay, handling unpredictability. What's second?
Second, they can be directed and instructed using natural human language, which makes it significantly faster and easier to define and encode even intricate workflows, potentially even by non-technical staff.
Talk to the AI instead of complex coding.
Exactly. This dramatically reduces the need for complex and time-consuming traditional programming. And
Third, they can integrate and interact with existing software tools and platforms more seamlessly because their underlying foundation models enable communication across a broader digital ecosystem, significantly reducing the manual effort and custom coding typically required for system integration. They play nicer with other systems.
Okay, so adaptability, natural language direction, and easier integration.
Got it. There's also the intriguing concept of emergent AI, where multiple agents working together can develop unexpected behaviors and skills that were not explicitly programmed.
Ooh, wait. Unexpected skills, like what?
Well, it's early days, but potentially finding novel solutions or efficiencies that humans hadn't considered, capabilities that exceed the sum of their individual programmed parts. It's something researchers are actively exploring.
That concept of emergent AI is certainly fascinating and raises some interesting and even slightly scary possibilities.
It does. You mentioned the real-world example of Lenovo earlier. Are there other compelling hypothetical use cases for AI agents within the enterprise that you could share with us, just to spark the imagination?
Certainly. Let's consider the domain of loan underwriting within financial institutions. Traditionally, this is a time-intensive and highly collaborative process involving multiple specialists, right?
Yeah, lots of checks and balances.
An AI agent system composed of several specialized subagents, perhaps one acting as a relationship manager, another as an executor comprising necessary documentation, a financial analyst agent assessing risk, and a final critic agent ensuring compliance could potentially manage a wide array of credit risk scenarios more efficiently.
A whole underwriting team made of AI agents.
Essentially, this could lead to significant reductions in loan review cycle times, maybe 20–60% faster, and improved ability to analyze data from disparate systems, and greater transparency throughout the entire process.
Okay, finance is a big one. What else?
Another compelling use case is in code documentation and modernization. Many organizations struggle with maintaining and updating documentation for their legacy software systems. It's a huge pain point.
Tell me about it. Ancient code bases.
Right. Specialized AI agents could be deployed to automatically analyze older code, generate comprehensive documentation, translate code to more modern programming languages, and ensure code quality and consistency.
Wow, automated code archaeology.
Kind of, potentially creating a flywheel effect for reuse in other system migrations. Finally, imagine the application of AI agents in managing online marketing campaigns.
Marketing, okay.
A single agent system could take high-level input from marketing professionals in natural language, run a campaign for this new product targeting this demographic, and then autonomously develop campaign ideas, conduct A/B testing, and continuously iterate on the campaign based on real-time performance data, with specialized subagents focusing on strategy, content creation, copywriting, and visual design.
So the AI runs the whole campaign based on a brief. These hypothetical examples really bring to life the transformative potential of AI agents across a diverse range of business functions. Very cool. Now, we touched on the significant hurdles to adoption earlier in our discussion. Trust, change management, data. What are some of the specific concerns and challenges that organizations are currently grappling with as they consider implementing AI agents more broadly? What keeps them up at night?
Yeah, those hurdles are very real. Building and maintaining trust remains a fundamental one, as we keep saying.
Right.
As Nikolai von Bismarck astutely observed, even younger generations still value human interaction for certain types of customer support. So it's crucial for organizations to implement robust safeguards and validation mechanisms to build and sustain trust in the outputs and actions of their AI agents, like that bank's error checking system we discussed.
Got to earn that trust.
Absolutely. Roger Roberts emphasized that the organizations that ultimately derive the greatest value from AI will be those that prioritize building trust with all their stakeholders, customers, employees, partners, and make consistently ethical decisions rooted in their core organizational and societal values.
Ethics and values have to be baked in.
They do. Change management, as Jorge Amar highlighted, is also a critical and often underestimated challenge. Successfully integrating AI agents requires far more than simply deploying new technology. It necessitates a fundamental reevaluation and potential reengineering of how entire business functions operate.
The whole process might need to change.
Exactly. This includes adapting existing technological infrastructure and established operating models to seamlessly integrate with AI-powered tools and workflows. Furthermore, data protection and security are paramount concerns, as Aaron Balcom pointed out. Organizations must meticulously implement appropriate security protocols and data governance policies to safeguard sensitive information within their AI agent programs. Can't have agents leaking data.
No kidding. So it's a complex interplay of technological, organizational, ethical, and data-related considerations that organizations need to navigate carefully. It's a minefield almost.
It requires careful navigation, for sure.
Yeah.
How might the widespread adoption of AI agents ultimately impact an organization's underlying technology architecture? What does the IT department need to think about?
Well, the increasing prevalence of AI agents is likely to trigger a significant evolution in enterprise IT architectures. We anticipate a gradual shift away from traditional application-centric models towards more dynamic multi-agent systems.
Multi-agent systems.
Potentially involving thousands of interconnected agents, communicating not only with each other, but also with human users and external software systems to achieve shared objectives. It's a much more networked model.
Okay, so let's focus on individual apps, more on communicating agents. How would tech leaders actually deploy these?
Technology leaders have several potential pathways for deploying these agents within their environments. One approach involves leveraging super platforms, the next generation of third-party business applications, maybe like your CRM or ERP, that have integrated sophisticated Gen AI agents directly into their core functionality.
So agents built into the big software suites.
Right. Another strategy is to utilize AI wrappers, which act as intermediaries, allowing enterprise services to securely communicate with external third-party services via APIs without exposing sensitive proprietary data.
Like a secure gateway for agents?
Exactly. Think of a bank using an external risk assessment service via a wrapper. And finally, organizations can develop custom AI agents by fine-tuning pre-trained large language models or by accessing their own proprietary data through techniques like retrieval augmented generation, RAG.
Building your own specialized agents.
Right, creating tailored AI assistants for specific internal needs, such as a specialized customer service agent for call center staff trained on internal procedures. Ultimately, organizations will need to strategically adapt their IT architectures to better accommodate these agent-centric workflows and to facilitate continuous iteration and improvement of their AI agent deployments. IT needs to become more flexible.
That sounds like a fundamental shift in how we need to think about enterprise IT infrastructure, not just maintaining systems, but enabling agent orchestration. What are some concrete steps that organizations can take right now to begin implementing AI agents effectively and responsibly? Where should they start?
Okay, practical steps. Business leaders should begin by critically reviewing any large long-term technology proposals currently under consideration to identify specific areas where the integration of Gen AI could lead to significant reductions in both project costs and timelines.
Look for quick wins with AI.
Kind of, yeah. While remaining cautious of superficial or poorly conceived AI integrations, don't just sprinkle AI on top.
Right.
They should proactively focus on tackling their organization's most significant and costly technical challenges, particularly those contributing to technical debt, by exploring how AI agents can offer innovative solutions. Use AI for the hard problems.
Okay.
And crucially, they need to take immediate steps to address the talent, technology, and operating model implications of scaling multi-agent approaches within their organization. This includes investing in comprehensive reskilling programs for their workforce and strategically adapting their underlying IT infrastructure. Prepare the ground.
Get the people and tech ready.
Exactly. The field of AI agents is still in its early stages of rapid development, so adopting a thoughtful, strategic, and adaptable approach is absolutely essential for long-term success. Don't wait, but don't rush blindly either.
This has been a truly illuminating deep dive into the rapidly evolving world of Gen AI agents. Really fascinating stuff. To bring our discussion to a close, what are your key predictions for where this technology is headed in the near future? What's the next big thing?
Well, the immediate next frontier is undoubtedly the transition from primarily knowledge-based Gen AI tools, the ones that mostly chat or summarize, to more sophisticated, action-oriented agents that can autonomously execute complex, multi-step workflows.
From knowing to doing.
Exactly. These more agentic systems will possess the ability to interact independently within dynamic environments, leveraging the natural language understanding and generation capabilities of Gen AI for planning tasks, utilizing online tools and resources, collaborating with other agents and humans, and continuously learning and adapting from their experiences.
Smarter, more capable agents.
Right. We anticipate seeing these agents increasingly functioning as highly skilled virtual coworkers, seamlessly integrated into various business processes.
Virtual coworkers. Interesting phrase.
And the inherent flexibility offered by the underlying foundation models in Gen AI makes the implementation of these more complex agentic systems significantly more accessible than traditional rule-based or narrowly trained machine learning approaches. It's easier to build these capable agents now.
Okay.
We're likely to see a greater reliance on natural language for directing and orchestrating these multi-agent systems, unlocking substantial value in a wide range of previously intractable or highly complex use cases.
So it's a significant shift from AI that primarily informs to AI that actively performs, a real step change. What key actions should business leaders be taking now to effectively prepare for this next wave of AI-driven automation and augmentation? How do they get ready?
Good question. Business leaders should prioritize actively educating themselves and their teams about the capabilities and limitations of AI agents.
Understand what they can and can't do.
Right. And begin strategically considering how these technologies could be applied to their organization's core business processes. They should also start exploring the rapidly expanding ecosystem of agent-related application programming interfaces, APIs, development toolkits, and open source libraries. See what tools are out there.
Okay, get educated and explore the tools. What else?
Key factors that will determine success include the effective codification of relevant organizational knowledge, getting your house in order, data-wise.
Right, the data foundation again.
Proactive and strategic technology planning that considers data accessibility, IT system organization, mechanisms for capturing user feedback, and ensuring flexibility for future integration. And crucially, establishing robust human-in-the-loop control mechanisms for validation, expert collaboration, and ongoing learning. Keep humans involved.
Okay, knowledge, tech planning, human oversight.
Exactly. It's also important to be keenly aware of the unique risks that more autonomous agentic systems can pose, such as the potential for generating harmful or inaccurate outputs and the misuse of integrated tools. Need to plan for failure modes.
Right, the risks don't disappear.
No. Organizations need to develop comprehensive mitigation strategies that address issues of accountability, autonomy management, human oversight, transparency, and robust user training. Broader societal and organizational considerations like value alignment, potential workforce shifts requiring retraining and new collaboration models, and even the ethical implications of designing human-like characteristics into AI agents will also need careful attention.
Lots of big picture issues there, too.
Definitely. While still in the early stages of widespread adoption, agent technology has the potential to revolutionize industries by introducing a new level of speed and efficiency to business operations. But this will require careful testing, ongoing training, and thoughtful integration of these new virtual colleagues.
This has been an incredibly insightful and thought-provoking discussion. Seriously learned a lot. So just to quickly recap the key takeaways for you, our listener. Generative AI agents are rapidly evolving from simple information providers to powerful tools capable of significant automation and augmentation across a wide range of enterprise functions, with particularly promising applications in areas like customer service and information technology. However, successfully realizing this immense potential requires more than just deploying the technology. It demands careful consideration of the practical implementation challenges, significant organizational adaptations, and perhaps most importantly, building trust in these new, increasingly autonomous virtual team members.
Well put.
Hopefully, this deep dive has provided you with a clear and comprehensive understanding of this complex and rapidly advancing topic without leaving you feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information. Tried to break it down.
And as you contemplate the implications of AI agents becoming more deeply integrated into our workplaces, a critical question to consider is, what new roles and responsibilities might emerge for human workers in this increasingly collaborative future between humans and AI?
Right.
And how can we best prepare ourselves and our organizations for this significant evolution? We encourage you to think about the potential impact on your own specific work and within your broader industry.
Excellent food for thought to take away with us. Definitely something to ponder. And if you're interested in exploring this topic further and digging into even more detail, we highly recommend checking out the McKinsey Insights app for a wealth of related content and analysis. Lots more there.
Great resource.
Thank you for joining us for this in-depth exploration.